evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucky Dog Truck Series Thursdays. 100 laps from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Should be a good one this evening, especially for what we were seeing in practice. A lot of side-by-side racing, a lot of guys racing as packs. Almost look like a mini Daytona. I'm kind of jealous of these guys. Love to be running with them. No, this track looks like it's going to be a lot of fun this evening. So, we'll go ahead and we will go through our starting lineup before we get too much further. We got obviously quite a few guys out here. I think we got a 28 car field this evening. We'll go ahead and we'll go through. Starting on pole in the 777 is Mr. Michael Pegg. Starting to his outside in the number 4 is Larry Eddy. Starting in third is the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Fourth is the 31 of David Levine. Starting fifth is the 17 of John Held. Sixth is the 39 of Barry McNeely. Starting seventh, but disqualified, is yours truly. Starting eighth is the number 9 of Mark Berry. Roll Tide. In ninth is the 26 of Gary Ragland. In 10th, we have the 99 of Kim Kraus. Starting 11th is the 43 of Sandy Curtis. 11th is the 43 of Sandy Curtis. 12th is the 19 of Ben Gear. 13th is the 89 of Randolph Richard, and 14th we have, I believe that's a 38 of Cody Struble. Starting 15th is the 00 of Thomas Holder. 16th is the 47 of Glenn Stout. Starting 17th is the 22 of Joe Ibarra. Starting 18th is the 36 of Jackery Shucker. Starting 19th is the 111 of John Henderson. In 20th we have the 42 of Rick Adams. 21st, the 56 of Donald Stewart. Starting 22nd is the 59 of Ralph Blair. 23rd is the 67 of Charles Fletcher. 24th is the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. 25th is the 8 of Paul Regney. 26th, the 40 of Timothy Woodson. 27th is the 27 of Terry Mullum. 28th is Joel Guy. And 29th is Chris Hogue. As we get set to go green. Green flag is out. Michael Pegg did not get a good start at all. He is already cleared up top by the 4 of Larry Eddy. Hopefully Larry clearing Michael before the start-finish line is not hit with a black flag. That would be most unfortunate. I think he can do that. We'll go ahead and we'll see what race control has to say. iRacing controls those black flags, so I'm going to hope that Larry is in the clear as they head off through turn 3 and 4. You can see they are side by side pretty much all the way through the field. It's from the front here. You got 2 guys behind them that are single file in the 57 and the 17, but behind them it is just 2 by 2 by 2. Guys are trying to single file out, get to the bottom. A little bit of contact there from the 4 and the 777. Like they were able to keep it going straight. Just looked like maybe the 4 was pushing a little bit coming off that bottom. That's something we'll see more and more as the night goes on. That top's going to try and pinch that bottom lane down, try and wear those tires out. It's going to be difficult for Michael Pegg to pass Larry Eddy without some help. He's really hoping that 17 can get up to his rear bumper and really push him down the straightaways, because while he's got these really good runs coming off the top, that bottom line is such a short way around this track. It makes up for all the gains that Michael Pegg is making. See, he lost all of those gains right there in turns 3 and 4. You got the 4 of Larry Eddy here. He's trying to pull that 57 up there. He wants Jeff Gilmore and Michael Pegg side by side, because if we keep them side by side, then he should be free and clear. If he pulls the 57 through the corner and the 777 down the straights, should be exactly what he needs, and that looks like that's what he's doing right here. He's not giving Michael Pegg any kind of draft pull. And what this is going to do, unfortunately, is this going to stall out these lines. These guys are going to have issues passing each other further in the back. When you take a look back here, like the 59 of Ralph Blair, he's currently running in 22nd. He's side by side with, I believe that is the 67 of Charles Fletcher. They're chasing the 42 and the 56, trying to make up time, make up space, make up positions, but you see those 2 trucks in front of them. There's really nowhere for them to go unless someone decides to get real brave for a 3 wide moment. This is something you can do early on fresh tires, but as we get later and later in these runs, it's going to become more and more of a dubious prospect. These trucks, I expect, are going to get very tight as we go on later in the evening. We'll pop back a little bit to the 40 and Timothy Woods and see what he's doing. He's almost like he's back here trying to save these tires. He's running with the 58 of Chris Hoke, the 91 of Joel Guy. These guys back looking like they're running about 3 wide here. So I was saying it was looking like they were saving their tires, but it looks like they're racing just about as hard as everyone else in the field. We'll go up to the 19 of Ben Gear. Ben currently running in the 13th position, side by side with the 00. It's going to be easier to find. Sorry, it's going to be harder to find someone who isn't side by side than find someone who is. And I say that, and I spy just above these, just ahead of these guys. The 43 is Sandy Curtis. Sandy Curtis doing a lot to guard that bottom. So he's not letting the trucks behind him really get a decent look. I believe that's the 89 of Randolph Richard that's currently following the tire tracks of the 43. Sandy's working with that 9 truck of Mark Berry, trying to see what they can do to make space, but you can see just in all that talking, all of a sudden he's in 2x2 traffic. And that's really a little bit of contact ahead of them. I think that was, I'm entirely certain who that was. I think that was the 31. Yeah, that was the 31 and the 26. Bump doors just a little bit. No harm, no foul. Everyone keeps it pointed in the right direction. Just to go back to the front, Michael Pegg was able to get around the 4 of Larry Eddy while we were looking and seeing what everyone else in the field was dealing with. So you got the 57 here, Jeff Gilmore behind him. These top 4 running single file. I hesitate to say top 5 because it looks like Barry Neely there looked like Gary Ragland just blew by him like he was standing still. He's got a rear view mirror all full of the 99 there of Kim Krause. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick someone. We're just going to ride along. You're going to see what this looks like. It is chaos for these guys here further back. We'll ride with the 89 of Randolph Richard here for a minute. See, he's not able to slide up that track the way he wants to. He's pretty much glued here to this white line. He's got to be careful. You see, he got almost a little bit of a sideways moment. You got to be careful of that apron. You either hit all of it or you hit none of it. If you do what he did, just get 2 tires over that white line, it really starts to play havoc with the handling of that truck, and that's what we saw there. He had a little bit of a sideways moment. He was also getting what looked to be a little bit of a push from the 00 of Thomas Holder. And I think that was just an aero push. I don't believe there was any contact between these 2 guys, but just taking the air off that rear spoiler, especially where in a spot where the truck is already a little unsettled, will do a lot to really upset the balance of that truck, start getting that wheel seesawing back and forth in your hand, trying to keep that thing pointed in the right directions. It looks like 89 looking, maybe considering going 3 wide on the 43, thinks better of it, backs off a little bit. He's searching for a hole. He wants to try and make some positions, but here's the other thing. He doesn't want to be stuck down here on the bottom. He's got the 38, I do believe that is a 38, of, yep, Cody Struble up above him, and that's stopping him from being able to slide up and take advantage of that full track. That's really going to eat away at the right side tires on this thing, especially that right front, and at a track where we were already expecting folks to get tight just running back here. It's only going to make it worse and worse and worse, and you're going to see more and more people like the 19 of Ben Gear here. We saw him in turn 3 and 4 there. He was right up against the wall going through, and you're going to see more and more people migrate to that top lane as this goes on, because that might be the only place they're able to find a little bit of turn. But, oh, we got a little bit of a blink in there from 43 Sandy Curtis. Hopefully that's just a minor glitch. But like we were getting ready to say, you start running the top, you run it for too long, it really starts to wear out that right rear. And the last thing you want is a car that's plowing tight and wrecking loose. Like, one's bad, both is almost undrivable. You want to go ahead and talk about how go ahead and we'll transition to our cameras here. You want to talk about how difficult this can be. You see that long single file line, and then it just fans out there in the corners. we see guys here. Not exactly who I was looking at. Where are they? We'll jump back here to our leaders. I mean, we're seeing guys further in the back. They're getting closer and closer to each other here on the corner exit. These trucks are already starting to plow. We're only 16 laps in here. But it's a testament to how well this truck drives here, but also how good these guys are, all these folks who are out here. Both, almost. Everyone keeps it pointing in the right direction. That 39 was really coming up that track. I was worried he was going to make contact with the 9 there. Very heads-up driving, kept it off the back of that University of Alabama truck. He's got the 99 of Kim Kraus, too, is outside. There's only 8 seconds separating the 59 of Ralph Blair, who is currently in the back. And actually, that's growing, so I'm wondering if he had a problem, because he has dropped completely off. He's got 17 laps on his tires, just like everybody else. It'll be 18 this time by. Wonder if maybe he had a sideways moment or what. So with the exception of Ralph Blair, looks like unfortunately he ran into some unfortunate circumstances. If we look from the 52 here of Gary Whitmer Sr. to the leader, Michael Pegg, there's only 4.5 seconds from the front of the pack to the back of the pack. And this is 26 drivers. They have not really separated at all. We'll go ahead and we'll ride along the gearbox of Michael Pegg. You can see how densely packed this field is. Now, this is something that Michael Pegg out here in front is absolutely loving to see. He wants these guys running like that. He wants them side by side. So the longer they do that, the less he's got to worry about it. But now we really have some questions to ask. So in practice, it was noted that these trucks have 46 laps of fuel. Can you stretch it? Maybe that's what's going on with the 59 back here. Not that he has problems, but he's trying to stretch that fuel. If he can stretch it 4 laps per fuel stint, he might be able to make it in only 1 stop. I'm not entirely certain if that's what he's doing, but that's about the pace he's running. You give up a lot of time trying to save fuel here, especially in the trucks. These trucks seem to be about full speed all the time. You see there's now a little bit of a gap starting to build between the 4 of Larry Eddy and the 26 of Gary Ragland. There's currently about a half a second between those two, and then from Gary Ragland back to Barry McNeely, there's another half second. So this field finally starting to stretch out. And a lot of it has to do, as we would suspect, with that side-by-side racing. These 4 up here, Michael Pegg, Jeff Gilmore in the 57, John Held in the 17. Great to see him running up front, not saving too much here. And also the 4 of Larry Eddy. Is wicked fast here at Las Vegas. These guys all running nose to tail. What this is doing is it's really allowing them to separate out here from the 26. These guys are working very, very well together. But all these guys got to be wondering, when do we come to pit road? Now, I think it's already too early to be thinking about coming to pit road. Our fastest lap so far were 30.6 second laps. Last time by, we'll go ahead and we'll take our leader at Michael Pegg, and he takes the lap here, takes it over. His last time by, he was a 31.3, and there was only 1/100th of a second between his last lap and the lap before. So these guys are losing some time as they're running out there, but they're not running enough where you need to be thinking about coming to pit road for fuel. Coming to pit road for fuel. The other thing we were noticing in practice is there was very little tire wear. Even if you were running in traffic, compared to a track like Charlotte or Old Atlanta, you see a lot of. I mean, those are bumpy tracks. You see a lot of tire wear at those two tracks. there's a lot of bumps here at Las Vegas. And some guys were saying, you know, hey, I've been out here for 15 laps and my tires are hardly worn at all. So how long, I mean, really with Las Vegas, if you can just give your tires a chance to cool down. I mean, I have seen races won here after, you know, 30 laps on fuel, someone coming down pit road for 7 seconds, just filling up the gas tank and going. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight. Goes to 42 here, go for a pass on, I believe that's the 00 of Thomas Older, is able to get to the inside. That's the thing, is you've got to get your passes done quick. You've got to get that run, dive it on in, and make that pass as quickly as possible. See, Thomas Holder is looking, maybe thinking of passing him back. Not really going for it. These guys are already moving up here, moving more towards the middle of the field. It was very impressive there. You know, they're able to run these higher lanes for as long as they are. If I remember correctly, that middle groove is smoother than the rest of these. And here's something we need to talk about. We were wondering why was he back there? What was going on? Ralph Blair is running faster than the leader. So if he was saving, he's not saving anymore. His last time by was a 30.45. Our leader last time by was a 30.46. So only 110th, you know, only a 1/100th of a second difference, but he is catching the field. So he has, I don't know how much that he's catching the field now that I think about it, because if we look at the intervals, he's now 9 seconds behind the leader. And the field has strung out from that, you know, 4.5 second gap they had between Gary Whitmer Sr. and Michael Pegg. And it's now up to 9 seconds. So Ralph Blair back here taking care of his tires. I guess, I'm not entirely certain. You can hear he's doing a slight lift going through the corners. But he's making some very good lap times, very comparable to our leader. So we may be talking about Ralph Blair up towards the front before this race is over. Speaking of talking about people, Michael Pegg, while we were looking through the field, has managed to pull out almost 1.5 seconds over the 17 of John Held. And what looks like these guys really started, you know, got really racy up here. But the other thing, our top four has also drastically changed, and that would be why. Looks like maybe they weren't expecting it. 57 to Jeff Gilmore on pit road. He is the first of our leaders to come down pit road, 4 tires and fuel. Remember, he was running in second. So actually, that's what happened. He was running in second. The 17 of John Held was running in third. He now has a second spot. We see the 39 of Barry McNeely. He's managed to get himself up in the top 4 as he works his way past the 4 of Larry Eddy. Looks like 17 of John Held. He's coming to pit road now. So that is a development. We've got a bunch of people now starting to come down pit road. We've got the 47 on pit road. I do believe we also have the... It looks like he has had an issue and disconnected. I was going to say the 27, but no, he is disconnected. Looks like the 59 of Ralph Blair has decided to come down pit road. The 19 of Ben Gear, the 9 of John Barry, sorry, Mark Barry. Everyone's starting to come to pit road, take that service. How long does Michael Pegg want to stay out here? I mean, we know that on fresh tires, these guys are turning about 1.5 seconds faster than the leader. But if Michael Pegg doesn't come this time by, he might feel pretty confident in his ability to make it halfway. If he can make it halfway and only do this on one stop, then he is, not only is he Superman, especially with the fuel usage here at Las Vegas, but to be able to also hold these guys off the amount of time that you'd have to give up on track to make 8 seconds on pit road. I mean, it can be done. We'll see exactly what his plan is. He foregoes pit road this time by as well. 4 of Larry Eddy is on pit road getting his service. They just dropped the right side, the 56. Donald Stewart just completed his service. He is down and away. Looks like we got more takers. We got the 99. We got the 42. As well as the 89, I believe that is. All these guys coming down pit road, 4 tires and fuel. Michael Pegg still staying out there. He's put quite a number of folks a lap down with this choice. I mean, he's making fantastic time. He's got 2 seconds between himself and the 39 of Barry McNeely. Sorry, Barry Neely. Jeez, I don't know why I keep putting the Mick in there. It flows better. But Barry Neely, you know, 2 seconds and growing here behind Michael Pegg. And then he's got 3 seconds between himself and the 36 of Zachary Shucker, making his way around as fast as he can. All these guys who are still out on 37, 38 lap old tires. When you look at the first car a lap down, I think it's currently showing this the 38, but he just came off pit road, so more than likely it's going to end up being the 57. Yep, it'll be the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Will be your last car on the lead lap. I say, as I see the 67 comes to pit road to take his service. But the 57 here, he is making time. As we see the 777 of Michael Pegg has opted to come down pit road to get him some fresh tires. He may have realized how much time he was giving up on the track. So here's the question. 57, where's he going to come out in all of this? He's heading through the quad oval right now behind the 36. Well, looks like he's able to get past Michael Pegg. If we take a look, Michael just coming off the pit lane, blows up a little wider. Take a look at the 57 here. 57's halfway down the Nellis Straight. So Michael Pegg just now really getting up to speed. He's going to have some time, some space to make up. Now he's got almost 10 lap fresher tires. So with tires looking that good, he may be the man to beat. We were talking about Superman. Well, Superman fly. The 39 of Barry Neely, he has inherited the lead, so he's getting his lap led. 41 laps on these tires. How long does he want to keep out on the track? He decides to keep it out this time. See what he's able to do. We were thinking in practice he'll only have another 4 laps of fuel. But if he's been able to save it all, he might be able to make it halfway without worrying too much. But worrying is what I think he may have to do. He's at 57 of Jeff Gilmore. He is hauling the mail. He is closing in on that 39 rather quickly. Jeff Gilmore here, so I can find him. Jeff Gilmore, his last time by was a 31.0. Barry Neely, 31.6. So there's a half a second difference between these two, how they're running. But if the 39 can hold off the 57 and make it halfway, which I think he could do, then he's probably not going to have to worry too much. Because everyone who came down pit road already has to make one more stop. They have to. There's no way they're going to be able to get to the end of this race on this tank of fuel. 31 of David Levine he commits to pit road. He was your 4th place driver. So this is going to drop him back down the order of fairway. The 36 here, Zachary Shucker, he's still out there, but also we got the 111 of John Henderson, who's getting eaten up by these pressure tires. He's trying to do the same thing. He's trying to keep it out there as long as he can. See the 31. So just dropping the left side there as he works his way off pit road. Currently only 3 cars on pit road, as it looks like the 36 has decided he's going to come down pit road. Oh, overshot his box just a little bit. That is unfortunate. That's a lot of lost time there. Hopefully he's able to make it up on track. 111 is still out here just trying to make all the time he can. And getting eaten up the way he is by all these guys. Even if he wanted to pit this lap, doesn't look like he could. Because he finally gets cleared there just after pit entry, and then the 67 is right there all over him already. He's already looking at the 19 of Ben Gear, pass him to the inside. We were talking about if he could hold him off. He was not able to. Jeff Gilmore was able to clear the 39, who is now coming to pit road. Barry Neely is on pit road, lap 46, so he pushed this tank of fuel as far as realistically he could. And we'll see what that does. What I'm guessing this will do is the 111 of John Henderson comes down pit road as well. This should give the lead here to the 57 of Jeff Gilmore when he comes back around. He's going through 3 and 4 right now. As he comes across the start-finish line. He passes 39. He will be scored as your leader this time. And this is the guy that he's really keeping an eye on in his relative. It's the 777 of Michael Pegg. Michael's been able to chew his way through a bunch of these guys. He's already passed the 4 of Larry Eddy, running in second. He's 2.5, a little more than 2.5 seconds back. Is he going to be able to catch Jeff Gilmore? Now, there is a fairly substantial difference in these two guys' laps. Jeff Gilmore is about 0.5 second slower. Michael's got a little bit of a push here coming from Larry Eddy. So not only does he have tires 8 to 10 laps fresher, he's got help. And the 57 here, Jeff Gilmore, he is out here all on his own. So he's got to make all of this speed, all this time up on his own. No help. And the longer those two behind him work together, I think the worse it's going to be. He was one of the first to come to pit road. When we were thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and check in. 59 of Ralph Blair. He's able to make up 9 positions. No, more than about 10 positions there on that pit stop. He was already making really good time on all of these guys. He's currently about 11 seconds back from your leader, Jeff Gilmore. So he's making some very nice progress. So we'll go ahead and we'll go a little bit further here to the 00 of Thomas Older. Thomas currently running behind the lap down vehicle of Joel Guy, currently being scored 2 laps down. What he's trying to do is he's trying to work with Joel to see if he can catch up to the 99 of Kim Kraus. Kim, who is working on the 22 of Joe Ibarra as best he can. As we take halfway, take a second again. We'll check in one more time with 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Jeff Gilmore now only has a second between himself and Michael Pegg. So pitting earlier did give him the opportunity to get out and make up a bunch of time. Unfortunately, with the kind of racing he had to do to get his lap back and get through a bunch of the slower traffic, it looks like it's really worn out those tires. He's running 0.5 second slower than Michael Pegg. And the distance Michael has between himself and Larry Eddy, you can't chalk it up to Michael getting a good push. Right now, Michael's getting a good pull from the 57. So it looks like maybe pitting earlier than Michael was not the play. But we'll see. I mean, we still all have one stop to make. Michael very good at using that entire track. We're going to go ahead and we're going to ride along with the 57 here for a lap. You could hear he had to get out of it. That truck looked like it got real tight and real loose running in the dirty air behind the 777. He enjoyed that fresh air for as long as he could. Lap 55 here. Anyone who pits right here can make it all the way to the end. But I don't anticipate, with the lap times that we've seen, the way these trucks have been handling, that anyone's going to come down pit road this early. I think it'd be giving up way too much on the track right now to do that for some short-term gain, especially with the fact that you'd have to be dealing with a lot of folks that you are much faster than, but not able to really negotiate in a fashion that is beneficial. The top three currently, the 777 of Michael Pegg, the 57 here of Jeff Gilmore, and the 4 of Larry Eddy, the 4 who is getting closer and closer and closer to the back end of that 57. And then you cut about a second and a half back almost to the 17 of John Held, who did not have the best run through traffic, and I don't believe he had the best pit stop, unfortunately. So he's almost 3 seconds now back from our leader. More than likely what John's doing is he's trying to save his stuff for a little bit. Now, with lap 57 here, some of these guys only, came down pit road 20 laps ago. Some folks almost 30 laps ago. So we'll be seeing here probably within the next 8 to 10 laps, a lot of these guys coming to pit road for that last stop. So we go back a little bit further in the field here to the 9 of Sandy Curtis. He's running right here. All these guys trying to get around the 91 of Joel Guy. He's scored 2 laps down. He's trying to stay out of the way down there on the bottom. He knows that top side is faster than where he is. But with these guys running side by side, it doesn't seem like they're able to get the runs they need to be able to clear him. He's wrapping that bottom just well enough. It's keeping the 26 of Gary Ragland right to his outside. The 43 of Sandy Curtis can't do anything to really make up for that. And if you look, the 22, he's stuck staring at all this like, hey, I want to make up some spaces too. And Joel's not running them hard. I mean, he's just keeping it down there on the bottom out of the way because he can see the amount of speed that 89 up in the front. Randolph Richards able to roll up there along the top. Tried to say run and roll at the same time, and that came out weird. As you take a second, 47, Glenn Jr., he is down and away. Glenn Stout has taken his last stop. The 19 of Ben Gear, he's also on pit road. Looks like he may have had a little bit of a brush with the wall. Fix that. Could be took the lights playing on my eyes, but he's getting his service. This should be his last stop of the race. Take a look at our leader real quick. He is still 1.7 up from the 57 of Jeff Gilmore, who has been very successful in keeping the 4 of Larry Eddy behind him. How much longer do these guys want to be out here with Michael Pegg pulling away from them? I mean, he seems to have kind of plateaued a little bit. He's still gaining a little bit. So before too long, these guys have got to be thinking about coming to pit road. They don't want that same kind of 8 to 10 lap gap they had last time, but they cannot afford to let Michael Pegg get that much further ahead of them before they come to pit road. Because you can almost guess this late in the race, if these guys pit before the leader, he's coming the next lap or the lap after that. And we already know this man right here knows he's fast. I think if he loses this race, it'll be done on pit road. I don't think he's going to get passed on the track for the lead, but we will see. The 17 to John Held, unfortunately, he's fallen further and further back. He's falling into the clutches of the 38 AC/DC machine of Cody Struble, who's doing a good job really reeling in the 17. He's bringing the 9 of Mark Berry with him. Both of these guys, I do believe, they're running 5th and 6th. Both of them, 1 to 2 tenths off the leader, and that's because they're back here running in dirty air. Dirty air is going to do a lot to really hurt your lap time. You're going to have to get out the gas a lot more than obviously the guys up front. And so Cody Struble here, his goal is to try and get around this 17 of John Held as quickly as he can. So he gets a good run on him going down the Nellis Straight. John tries to squeeze him up. He's successful to force him running the high side, but he is not going to be able to roll that speed down there at the bottom. That 38 monster run through 3 and 4 is able to clear the 17, prevent the side draft. Commanding pass for that third position. And we have hit what I believe to be the optimal time to pit, and a bunch of people saw that. 57 of Jeff Gilmore, he's on pit road, and I do believe the 56 took his service lap before. He is down and away. 00 Thomas Holder, he's coming to pit road, as is the 777 of Michael Pegg. Remember, we mentioned if he saw the 57 come down pit road, he was going to pit the next lap. And here he is. How much time is that 57 going to be able to make? He's able to get out. If he can get a little bit of a draft pull from the people in front of him, he should be able to get up there, right there around the 777. Michael Pegg coming off pit road now. We're going to watch this from the camera 3. There's the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. He's side by side with the 67. He was able to get around him, but was not able to get up in front of Michael Pegg. Now he's up the full song. Michael Pegg, not quite. Michael's also got all these guys around him. So what that's going to do is it's going to stop the 57 back here from really being able to make up the time that he feels that he needs to. All this is giving the lead to the 38, who's out here by himself. He's got to be thinking about pitting before too long, especially with the 777 and the 57 have already come down pit road. So here he comes, diving it onto pit road. Doesn't lock him up. Looks like he's able to make pit road speed. Good job, Cody Struble, just attacking that pit road entry. That's what you got to do. And you got folks running as fast as Jeff Gilmore, who's carving his way through this lap traffic, and Michael Pegg, who's just ahead of him. Just looking at, but 2 seconds ahead of him. Doing 57, getting everything he can to get past. He's able to. The 38 looks like he was able to take his service. They dropped Jack on the left side. Michael Pegg, you can see him coming into frame up there around the top. He's going to pass that 38. But Struble here currently scored, I do believe, back in the 10th position, 11th position now. His tires are looking, I mean, it's only 4 laps better than Michael's. So we'll see if that's the difference he needs to be able to get back up there. Michael Pegg's not that much further ahead of him than he was when he came down pit road. The 22 has inherited the lead in all of this. Joe Ibarra currently 13 seconds separate him in second place, the 58 of Chris Hogue. Chris just coming across the start-finish line. 22 last on pit road 34 laps ago, so he's going to have to make a stop. The question is, when is he going to stop? And looks like here we go. Also attacking that pit road, gets it down to pit road speed. As he comes down pit road to get his service. So what this should do is give the lead to the 58 of Chris Hogue. As he comes around, Chris was last on pit road 33 laps ago, so he's going to be thinking about pitting before too long. This has put the 777 of Michael Pegg and the 57 of Jeff Gilmore third and fourth. They'll be second and third here before too long. There's only 1 lap between these two guys' tires. And Jeff is driving that truck for all he's worth. Only a second between himself and Michael Pegg. If he can get to Michael and race him side by side, force Michael to run a line that Michael is not comfortable with, he might be able to really close that distance, really challenge for this lead. It'll come down between these two once we get done with this round of pit stops. And if I'm looking at my scoring correctly, it currently shows 11-11 there on the gap, but there's only a half a second gap on my timing and scoring between these two guys. Hopefully Jeff Gilmore's not overdriving that truck. They still have 26 laps of competition left. And if you want to take it to someone like Michael Pegg, you have got to not overdrive your truck. A lot of that might have to do with him ducking there below the apron there on the front stretch. Of course, that's legal here at Las Vegas. If we were at a track like Daytona or Talladega, or even the reconfiguration of Atlanta, that would not be okay. But you can see how much he shrunk that lead down. Like I said, there's only 1 lap difference between these two guys' tires in favor of Michael Pegg. I almost wonder if Michael is, taking his time and just... caution is out on the track. Who was that? That truck is fine. 58 should be fine. He's the leader. He's the one who's going to come out ahead in all this. I'm not certain what happened on my timing and on my little track map. No one's moving slow. See if I can find a truck with damage. But I'm not seeing anyone. I am not certain what brought out that caution. Now, what this is going to do, this is going to bring the 58 to pit road. For sure. He's got to come to pit road. The question is, how many people come with him? You got to wonder, and you don't got to wonder any longer, 777 and the 57, they're both coming to pit road. They've got, this late in the run, it can't hurt to take tires now. The only way it would hurt you is if we go and we get a caution on lap 98, and then these guys don't have any tires. Because they've already made 2 stops. This will be their 3rd stop. And we only have 3 spare sets of tires. That's something we usually never talk about. 31 is down and away. 31 here. Looks like he only took fuel. So trying to jump those guys on pit road. See how that works for him. Bunch of guys did opt to stay out. But a bunch of guys had already come to pit road. And so that's probably how that's going to shake out. That's going to mire the 57, Jeff Gilmore, and the 777 of Michael Pegg here back in traffic. They're currently running 12th and 13th, according to my scoring. So your leader is the 38 of Cody Struble. Do believe the 111 here ahead of him is a lap down. I believe that he is one of the few cars that is a lap down, and he was not the recipient of our lucky dog, but he is going to stay out. He's only got 9 laps on his tires, so he's still very healthy. He's going to go ahead, and we get the 1 to go flag. He's going to be getting his lap back via the wave around. I do believe the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr., currently on pit road, I believe he was the recipient of our lucky dog. So that will, once we go 1 to go, that will give us 21 trucks on the lead lap, leaving only the 42, the 91, the 47, and the 40 looking for a way to get their lap back. And so those guys are probably going to be hoping for a caution, especially the 91 of Joel Guy. 39 laps since he came down pit road. Man needs fuel. But we have a new driver in command of this race. It's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. So we had a bunch of people come to pit road under that caution. From 7th on to 20th, all came to pit road. However, only half of them took tires. The 31, the 4, well, let's do it this way. The 31, the 4, the 17, the 22, and the 9 only took fuel. So their tires are probably going to be 9 to 12 laps old. So we'll see how this shakes out, because behind them, the 9 currently scored in 11th. To his outside is the 777 of Michael Pegg. Behind him is a 57 of Jeff Gilmore. You want to talk about someone who's going to take him 3 wide with these fresh tires and try and make as much time as he can, build as much of a gap between himself and the 57. It's going to be that man right there. He's going to take any hole he can find, top, middle, bottom. If you open a space big enough for a truck, expect that white and blue fiber optic construction truck to be there. At the same time, he knows they're racing for the win. That 57 is going to go anywhere he can. That Irwin Tools truck is going to go wherever he needs to be to make up that time. He cannot let Michael Pegg get away from him. As we go back to the front, the 38 of Cody Struble is your leader. The 89 of Randolph Richard to his outside. Green flag is back out. Excellent start from that bottom lane. Randolph Richard almost, I'd say, caught sleeping. Not quite. He got it. He was able to recover that start. Keeps to the outside of the 43, but Sandy Curtis is able to clear him there going through turns 1 and 2. He's got the 26, Gary Ragland, to his inside. Gary clears him as well. So that bottom lane, 3 trucks were able to clear the top. These guys are going to be racing for all they're worth. They know all those fresh tires are back behind them in the field. We need to get going. We need to get as much done as we can before they get here. So 43 is Sandy Curtis giving a good push to Cody Struble. As we looked like truck caught in the wall. Was that the 777 of Michael Pegg? No, looked like might have been the 4 of Leary Eddy. A little bit of a scrape on the side of that truck. We were talking about he was going to take things 3 wide. Michael Pegg has already moved himself up. Correction, he's still in the 11th place. The 57 ahead of him, Jeff Gilmore, has managed to put it wherever it'll fit. He's got it up to the 10th position. Stuck behind the 67. 67 not exactly going. What does the 57 do? Michael Pegg now getting up more ahead. Almost clear the 67, not quite. As Jeff's looking, maybe thinking about that middle lane. Not able to get there. These guys doing everything they can to work their way through this field. That 9 and the 31 are really holding Michael Pegg up. If he can clear, oh, truck's in the wall. 26. Gary Ragland went around. Look, we got a truck up on its lid. I think that's the 38, who was our leader. It's been a while since we've seen a wreck that crazy. We were back there looking at what was going on further in the field. What happened? So the 38's got the 43 and the 26 to his inside. 17 to John Held. Oh, just trucks coming together. Tried to slid along the top of that wall before he comes down and goes for one heck of a tumble. So we're going to go back here. Watch a little bit closer. I think what we're going to see is that number 17 is going to see a hole open up in the middle. And that hole is going to close. See, here they are going through down the front stretch. Yep. He saw that hole between the 26 and the 38. And that hole just absolutely slammed shut on him. So we'll go ahead and we'll ride along with the 17. Get a good look at it. So he's side grabbing the 26 here. He's trying to stay side by side with him. Not quite able to do that going through the corner. But he gets a good run here off the corner. Keeps it right there. Sees the 17 coming down. Maybe expecting the 26 to cut under the apron. The 26 did not. So go ahead and we'll ride along with the 38. Unfortunate what happened to him. So he's got the 43 to his inside. He's racing Sandy for all he's got. Gets a nice push going down the backstretch. And we're just along for the ride. And unfortunately was not able to land wheels down. He's probably had to take a tow there. It was very unfortunate. He was running up front. Was very realistically in contention for the end of this race. So we have interesting shuffle to our top 5. So restarting first will be the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Currently scored in second is the 17 of John Held. Behind him in third, we got the 89 of Randolph Richard. The 9 of Mark Berry, and the 777 of Michael Pegg. Been able to work his way back up into the top 5. This is the kind of thing that he needs. He's got tires that are only 10 laps old. Everyone around him's got tires that are 20 plus laps old. So with tires this much fresher, he should be able to carve his way through the field. But the other thing, this is allowing his tires to really cool down. By letting them cool down, going to get a lot of grip back in them. By the same token, because we were talking, there's not a whole lot of tire wear here. This man right here, Sandy Curtis, very, very dangerous in a short run. his tires have an opportunity to cool down too. And so he's going to get a little faster here on this restart. I don't think that's going to hold on for too long. You know, he does have 21 laps of wear on these tires. I mean, probably more like 15, because we do have 2 cautions in there. So we'll see how much these tires matter between him and, say, the 57 of Jeff Gilmore sitting in 7th. The only person on this track with tires as fresh as Jeff Gilmore this far up in the field is Michael Pegg ahead of him. Behind him, I mean, the 56 of Donald Stewart, he came to pit road a few laps ago and took 4 tires. I mean, behind him, the 00 of Thomas Holder came to pit road and put on 4 tires. I mean, so the 4 guys with the freshest tires are all lined up nose to tail on the bottom. And then behind them, you got a whole bunch of people on freshies. As we head back into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Much better start from the top lane this time. Sandy Curtis just barely able to clear the 17 of John Held. He's got a nice push from the 89 of Randolph Richard. Randolph cycling up the track a little bit. He got a good push from the 777 of Michael Pegg. They're already looking at blocking, stopping that 777 from getting that run there on the bottom. They know his tires are fresh. They want to keep him locked back there behind him, keep him behind the 89. Beside the 17, he won't be able to go anywhere. Michael's going to push for all he's worth to get clear of that top lane so he can get out there and take advantage of it himself. You see the 89 already having issues holding it down there on that white line behind the 43. Both these guys working together, pushing really hard. Michael Pegg thinking about going low. He's able to get it right there to the inside of the 89. Gets the 17 and the 9 up the track. Got a little issue. Oh, Michael Pegg around. Got tagged by the 89. Oh, this is terrible. I don't think he has any tires left. Caught a whole bunch of guys. The 52, I think that was the 40 got a piece of it. 47 got a piece of it. Bunch of old tires racing around, a bunch of fresh tires. Is that the 17 caught a piece of it? We're going to go back. We're going to watch this from our friend the Chopper Cam. So here we are going through turns 3 and 4. Unfortunately, I do believe it was a little bit of an off-center, little bad push there on the 89, I believe is what set that off. Yeah, hit right there, corner exit. Michael Pegg along for the ride, the 111, the 59, 42. Almost easier to tell you who wasn't in it. The 59 got a shot, the 36 collected. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to pick someone in the back. We're going to ride along with them. We're going to go ahead and ride along with the 99 of Kim Kraus. Just watch this unfold. Kim gets hit from behind. And a little bit of contact there on the front. Looks like from the 89, not too much. So go ahead and we'll ride along with the 89 of Randolph Richard. Did he have a lift there? No, he was just in it, but the 17 just had a better run to ride along with John Held. He just not expecting the 89 to be going that slow and just pounds him. See if we can see if anyone made it through here. We'll try looking from the 56. I think all this happened. I think the 56 and the 00. Both these guys on fresh tires are able to keep it down towards the bottom. Yep. 56, 00, looked like the 19. Nope, got turned by the 31. After the fact, unfortunately, so both these guys, and I think just about everyone was involved in this wreck. And so this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. 43 Sandy Curtis is your leader. He is on 26-lap-old tires. In second is the number 9, Mark Berry. Mark Berry here is on fresh tires. Well, fresh-ish, 17-lap-old tires. And then we do have, I think it'll be about 9, 10 laps of caution on there. So we'll not very worn as we get the 1 to go. In third, we have the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. So Jeff Gilmore here, remember he was racing really hard with Michael Pegg. He's on fresh tires as well. The 22 of Joe Ibarra, he's got fresh tires. And the 56 of Donald Stewart. These guys are going to be your top 5 with fresh tires, all looking very hungrily at that appliance repair mellow yellow 43 truck. So unfortunately in all of that, looks like the 777 is going to be restarting in the back, 23rd, a lap down. That's unfortunate. Michael was really making his way through the field with much expediency. This pace car dips off pit road, hopefully for the last time. Lap 94 going to lap 95. Green flag is out. Similar start to last time. 43 gets a good start, but that 9 got a good push from the 22. 43 is able to clear anyway. 57 diving it down, keeping it there on that white line, trying to make up that position. Looks like he's able to clear the 9 before the exit of turn 2. Does he want to push the 43? Or does he want to be looking to the inside? You know, that 43 is going to be blocking that inside as much as he can, guarding as much as he can. He knows everyone behind him has fresher tires, and they are all hungry for a win. But so is that 43. He wants to win this just as much as everyone else. 5 laps to go. Thinking maybe the only way you're going to get around Sandy Curtis is send around the outside. 56 of Donald Stewart able to work it up into 3rd place. The 4 of Larry Eddy currently running in 4th with the 9. Mark Berry to his outside. Mark trying to make something work. He doesn't have any help. Not out back, not out front. He's having to do this all on his own. He tries to side draft the 00 of Thomas Holder. A little bit of door-to-door contact, but they look okay. Look at this extra shallow line the 43 is running into these corners. This is very effective at blocking the entire track, essentially. Just by guarding that one lane, no one is really able to get any kind of run on him. Oh, 00's going around. Looks like the 22's going around. 9's going around. Caution is out again. 36 is involved. Almost goes completely over. I think the 99 is involved. Is that the 777 again? Yes, it is. Got eaten up in that one. what happened? We saw that transpire on our screens. Did he get loose? And then get 1942 involved. We'll go back one more time. It looked like, we're going to look at this. We don't typically do this. We're going to look at this from the chase cam. I think the far chase cam might show us a little bit better. So we're going to back up here to the exit of turn 2. Because the 9 was pushing the 00 down the, arrow pushing him down the backstretch. 9 had a good run. And it looks like the 00 got loose before the 9 ever touched him. And that just collected everybody. I mean, I'd be willing to bet, so if we ride along with the 9, he's taking the air off of that rear spoiler. You hear him lift. Try and give the 00 an opportunity to save it. Unfortunately, is not able to. We'll ride along with the 36. He flew in there and almost tipped up over on his side. Almost went for a full 360. He's trying to clear it down low, clear it down low. I hit the wrong guy. Well, that was cool to see anyway. So he sends it in down here. Hear him get out of it. He gets collected from behind. Almost goes up and over. He tried to save that truck. Tried to keep it out of that. Just got punted, it looked like. We'll go ahead and we'll... Michael Pegg is tagged by the 26. In the right rear is 26, tries to avoid it. 58 looks like he was able to get through with very minor damage. Not very many people made it out of this caution in one piece. Looks like we have a few people still on pit road getting something fixed. Looks like the 91 of Joel Guy still on pit road. The 36 here who went up and over. Think he had to take a tow or didn't check his fast repair, but he is still on pit road with a torn up truck. We got a few more people currently scored a lap down. The 4 of Timothy Woodson. Looks like he's been added to that list. 777 of Michael Pegg currently scored 3 laps down. Likely had to take a tow after that hit as well. So these guys are out of the event, essentially. So we go back to the front. So we'll be taking the 1 to go this time, I do believe. Sandy Curtis in our green-white checker will be restarting first with the 57. Jeff Gilmore to his outside in second. Got the 56 of Donald Stewart here restarting third. Got the 4 of Larry Eddy to the outside in fourth. And then restarting fifth will be the 67 of Charles Fletcher. Well, 2 drivers we want to go ahead and take note of is the 111 of John Henderson in sixth. He started 19th. He's up to 6th. He's moved up 11 positions. The 5th place driver, the 67 of Charles Fletcher, he started 23rd, currently scored 5th. So I do believe he is our biggest mover of the night. Donald Stewart in 3rd, started 21st, is running 3rd. So he's moved up 18 spots. So actually him and Charles Fletcher, I think, yep, they have moved the same number of positions, 8 positions each. And then 59 of Ralph Blair started 22nd, running 7th. Good job to all of these drivers. Making great strides in the race this evening. Pace car is down pit roads. We head back towards the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back out. Sandy Curtis got a hell of a start that time. 57 able to duck in behind him already just after the start-finish line, guarding that second place. If we take the white flag, when they come back around, the next flag will end the race. Jeff Gilmore cannot mess about. He has got to make this pass. He has got to make it fast. And 52 is around. Caution is out. That may be our one attempt. So that collected a few guys. The 52, the 22, and that looks like the 58. Not certain what happened here. Hopefully, don't think he was involved. We'll go back real quick. 3 wide going through exit of turn 2. I'm not entirely... Ooh, hard hit from the 58. Not entirely certain what happened. We're going to need to look at this from the chopper. Oh, 42 got caught. We're going to need to look at this from the chopper. So they go through here. 52 is low. Oh! Well, it's hard to get mad at anyone for that. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at a closer cam. You'll see exactly what I saw. I believe this was netcode contact. So we'll ride along here with the 52. And you'll see, I do believe, that's the 22. He never touches it. The 52 is going around before the 22 makes contact. That, so you'll see it here. Go ahead and watch one more time. You see the bumper of the 22 right there. See, they're fine. They're fine. The 22's moving up the track to avoid hitting him, but you see right there the weight transfer. Oh, let me get that back in the... There we go. Got it all put back. So here, you see he's coming through. And the weight transfer. If I stop hitting the wrong button. So they're fine. They're fine. No contact. No contact. No contact. The 22's moving away from the 52, and all of a sudden, the back end of the 52 starts moving down the track. The front end starts coming up the track. He's already spinning before they've made contact. And so that'll mean the 43 of Sandy Curtis is your race winner. Congratulations to Sandy Curtis. We're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can pull him up into the booth. Let's see, we do have the... I don't see Donald Stewart, but we have the 57 and the 43. So we're going to grab them and talk to them real quick.
I just blew my motor.
All right, and we have our second place finisher here, the 57 of Jeff Gilmore. Jeff, this is William in the booth. You got me?
I do, William. What's up?
Fantastic run from you this evening, Jeff. You were fighting pretty much the entire race to beat Michael Pegg, and looks like you put yourself in just the right spot there towards the end to do it. Go ahead and walk us through your race. I think you were the first person to pit during that first green flag run.
Yes, I was. I did try to do a little short stop there and see kind of how it would go. I knew it was a two-stop race either way, so kind of played that way just to kind of see what it got me way out front after the cycle, but Pegg was able to track me down. He pitted about 5 laps later, I think. So that played out pretty good in his favor. And then the second stop, we were pretty even, so it was going to be between me and him if it had gone green, I think. And then unfortunately, we had a couple cautions there and made for good racing though. It was fun tonight. It's kind of a setup. We just kind of hold it wide open and tires would wear a little bit and you start pushing and getting tight, but it made for good racing.
It was definitely exciting there on those restarts there towards the end. I mean, you had tires 10 laps fresher than Sandy Curtis, and it looked like you just couldn't seem to get that run to get by him. How difficult was it to pass at all tonight?
It was quite difficult. I mean, if we had a few laps to go, I might have been able to do something with Sandy, but you had to get to the bottom quick there on the cold tires and just kind of ride. If I had tried to pass Sandy, I think I probably would have got hung out there. And plus, I wanted to kind of stay with Sandy and kind of help protect there a little bit. And I knew it was either going to be him or me get it, so worked out pretty good.
Well, fantastic run, Jeff. It was a exciting race, really, from start to finish. And I appreciate anyone who can make Michael work for it.
Absolutely.
I like Michael, but I like talking to other people too. So I'm so glad I'm able to talk to you this evening.
Yeah, awesome job, and congrats to Sandy on the big win there. That was an awesome job there. Good job, Sandy.
Well, is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go, Jeff?
Absolutely. Lucky Dog Sim Racing, the league. They put on a fantastic show every night. So, and as well as you in the broadcast booth, William doing a great job up there. Appreciate that too. Thank my team. Thank my teammates there, Sandy, of course, Henderson, Held. So we all got top 10 tonight. That was a pretty good run for us.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Again, congratulations on your runner-up finish, and we hope to talk to you next time.
Right on. Thanks again.
We'll go ahead and move on to our leader, our winner, the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Sandy, this is William in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Honestly, I mean, I mentioned it to Jeff. I like talking to Michael. I really do. But it's nice to see someone else win one of these. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I probably couldn't have done it without a teammate there, Jeff. He stuck with me. It's a proud Canadian. Both of us right there. It's nice to see both of us get first and second. But yeah, I think if he could have got a run on me, he probably would have had me. They had fresher tires, but I appreciate it. He stuck with me, and without him, I don't know where I would have been. But I still would have. I told him, if you guys go to the outside, I can't guarantee I'm not going to slide up into you into the wall.
I mean, especially, with how tight these trucks can get here. More than anything, I want to talk to you about those late race restarts. You had older tires and everyone else around you, but the fact you could just hold that bottom and hold that speed, I don't think you ever lifted. What was holding on? How hard was holding off the entire field?
Pretty hard, knowing that everybody had pretty well fresh tires, 2 tires or 4 tires. They all changed. I don't know, with about 12 laps to go. Last time I pitted, I think was on 65. So I figured all I can do is just hold it there and try to keep it on the bottom. And, if anybody wants to pass me, they're going to have to go on the outside a bit longer, way to go. But as long as my tires could hold me, which I was surprised I was able to hold it down there. But those 3 cautions there at the end really helped.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the biggest enemy of tires here at Vegas is just heat. A lot of guys were telling me in practice they weren't getting any tire wear, so letting your tires really cool off. I mean, did that truck almost handle like new?
Yeah, it was surprising. When we started out there, I think there was about 14 or 15 laps to go. I figured they were going to chew me up and spit me out because of how old my tires were. But then we had that quick caution. And then that ate up another 2 or 3 laps. So when it came down to it, I only just had to get a good start and try to hold 2 laps and caution would come out, right? So, but yeah, no, the tires held really good. It cut me right to the very bottom.
I mean, it's not often you have races go like that. It's a hell of a gamble, but that's what racing is. You never know what the right call is until the end, and you made it.
Yeah, like I say, got lucky, and I'll take it when I can get it. May not look pretty, but I'll still take it.
Look great from up here. Absolutely blast to watch. Is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lucky Dog for putting up 6 days a week for us all to be able to come and play together. And I'd like to thank you, William. I know you take some of your time out of the racing to do the broadcasting for them, which you do a great job at. I definitely got to help my teammate Jeff to kind of stick there with me at the end. John was out there early when we had about 8 laps to go, and he got messed up in a wreck. But yeah, so I was pretty good. I had one or Jeff or John up there with me, but I'd like to thank all my teammates and John Henderson there for outrunning all together and stuff. And I'd like to thank my wife for letting me come down and have playtime.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Again, congratulations on the win, and we hope we get to talk to you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, you William. Hopefully next time it's a points race, not a open race.
Fingers crossed. All right, thank you, Sandy.
Take care, buddy.
And that should just about do us this evening. I think that is everything we got lined up for the night. We do have our late model short track series tomorrow night, Xfinity Super Speedways on Saturday. We take Sunday off. Hopefully, if you're watching it, you get to enjoy the NASCAR Clash events this weekend. We'll be right back at it ourselves on Monday with Gen 4s, Gen 4 Cup cars, and then you should hear from me again on Tuesday for our Gen 6 series. Hopefully, we see you there. You enjoyed what you saw tonight. Like, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like it, like, comment, subscribe. Either way, we appreciate you taking time out of your evening to watch us. And until next time, have a good one.